Yo, morning guys, welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. This is the psychiatric self-therapeutic multimedia project as well as a self-improvement process. If you'd like an introduction into how we break down the channel, this project into domains of life, sub-series, analogies, and all things like that. Hold on, I just got a little confused there. If you would like a breakdown, introduction, you can find that all in the previous live streams for straight up to for 3.5 years, straight to January 2021. It's all over there, and if you want the live stream schedule and cover a few music, it's all over there. Sorry, I'm a little bit trying to catch up. I didn't make a live stream yesterday, but let's skip ahead now. Okay, that's the introduction. The first thing we want to get to after that is the table of contents. So when it comes to table of contents, what I want to say is for today we have, as usual, maybe about 7, 8 segments, and we're gonna say it's about 14 minutes long stream, not too long. The first one after the table of contents, which is the third portion, has to do with a bit of a digital stuff. We're going to rearrange some segments here. The first thing we'll talk about is probably right here, all have patience, all things are difficult before they become easy, from Stoic Reflections, and this I believe on Stoic Reflections is on Instagram, so you can find that there. But basically it's a great channel, a great page that I follow, and after that we move on to the more, I guess, photography and diets and inventory segment, which today we don't really have any food, but you can see here all these photographs of bandages and adhesives and alcohol wipes, which are expanding right now. So we have some materials that came in from my workplace, because I've actually cut myself up and become injured several times again. But it's just small things, it's just scrapes and wounds, so it's not too difficult. But I do have to cover this kind of stuff in terms of bandages and stuff like that, because it is inventory. After that, after the photography and the digital portion, we're moving on to the fifth segment, which you see in the backdrop here, my hand waving. That's region D1, and so this is going to be more active, more engaging part of the stream, I have to say. Typically during that stream we get up and move about, but today I don't think there's a whole lot I have to do aside from just clear the garbage on my table, as well as the bandages here. Like I said, it's actually in real time, it's all here, and all that kind of trash that I was binging yesterday. So that actually ties into number 6, the sixth segment, is where we'll talk a little bit about what you see on my laptop here, a little bit of digital stuff. Ironically, a little bit of abstract stuff. So in terms of what I had to do with regards to relationships and finance that I can't actually show you, right? I was working on the Ahn Rho Project actually for the most part of the day yesterday, because I called in sick. So employment and a little bit of calling in sick. That's something new. I've never done that for 3 years. I've never actually called in sick before and left. I've always been late if I had to be, but I always force myself out to get there. Anyways, so employment, relationships, working on this project, and that's what we're talking about in the 6th segment. And 7 just has to do with commentary. So if you guys want to leave comments and replies, questions, memes, just funny jokes and shit like that, you can just put that there, and I'll try to get back to you in the 7th segment. And with that being said, I think that's about it before I deliver a take-home message. So 2 quick disclaimers before we get started. The first one is that this is going to be real, raw, and genuine. Of course, that means we got to cover the good, the bad, and the ugly on stream. Whether it involves emotional baggage or insecurities of mine, it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to shy away from non-PC topics, because this is in part by analogy. The Ahn Rho Project is this time record, a time capsule of my life, so it doesn't serve me any good if I'm not honest. I have to be honest. And that makes it relatable to some of you too, so that's great. Okay, with that being said, the second thing is this is going to be a high utility stream, right? It has to be useful for me, otherwise there's not much point in me doing it, aside from making it useful to other people. But of course right now there's no way that you would find any value from my streams, at least I don't believe so. If you do happen to find value, that's great. I'm glad that you're tuning in and that you're actually getting something out of this. But for the most part right now, the entire Ahn Rho Project right now is focused on getting me out of the hole that I'm in. Let's begin. Alright, so we're switching things up a little bit. We're doing the digital stuff earlier on today, in the beginning of the stream. So it says here, have patience, all things are difficult before they become easy. And this really hits home right now, especially because I'm having an extremely difficult time. One of the most, maybe made into top 10 worst kind of phases in my life so far, and I haven't lived that long, but I've been through a lot of shit, and everyone says that, but really I have, and it's just domestic violence and stuff like that. I'm not from. It's like a very low poverty income household, riddled with divorce and beatings and shit like that, and 6-figure debt. So you name it, we have it. Alcoholism, addiction, all that stuff. Gambling in the family, in my aunts and my uncles. So no real role models. But the point is that kind of stuff. And then this here right now is just kind of from Stoic Reflections, and I want to say, of course, I appreciate stuff like this, and that's why I have followed it on Instagram. I don't follow very many things. I'm not active on Instagram, but there's one page I do follow out of 4 is this one. Next thing that's digital here. So there's a little bit of thanks to, I guess, the originator, Sadi Shirazi, but also to Stoic Reflections in general. Just a little bit of shout out there. We'll move that to the side. We have some digital stuff here on the laptop that I should probably get to, and it's just inventory. Some food I ate yesterday that I didn't take any photographs of, that were not mine, class 2 items. But also fitness wise, yesterday, like I said, I just stayed home. I never left the house. I almost always leave to go to work or something, but get the groceries, something. But yesterday I stayed back, and it's the first time that I've ever. You know what? We'll get to that later on. Like I said, I'll cover myself being late for work and stuff like that. Not going to work for the first time in like 3.5 to 4 years. So that's all the digital stuff. Okay, that's great. Let's move on. Oh, I should also mention that on the laptop, it's important that I did use on Outlook or whatever, Microsoft, and I had to prepare for the Ahn Rho Project. So I was compiling all the resources that I've accumulated from neurobiology, neuroscience, psychiatry, and immunology, and compiling them all together in lots of hardcore Stoic philosophy that I'm just compiling into a treatise of resources I can send out to I can share with people who I really think could use it right now. And that's basically part of the Ahn Rho Project that is very central to it, is trying to overcome the negative challenges, the problems that pollute our lives, and try to make the best out of them, and to actually enjoy the challenge of overcoming these, gambling, addiction, abuse, violence, shit like that, poverty, danger. Maybe you're not even living in a very safe neighborhood. Jesus, so all that kind of stuff. All right, moving on. So that took a lot of time at the beginning because of the kind of stuff, digital stuff. Geez, takes more time than I expected. So moving on to photography right here. For photography right here, we have this kind of bandages and adhesive. You can see actually on my finger right now, I have, I've been cut, like I said, in my workplace, and this happens pretty often on the top left-hand side. And so it's just a cloth, adhesive, sterile bandage. I had to run through about 3 in the past 3 days, right? So 1 for each day or whatever, 2. And then those are the alcohol wipes. So I can get rid of these photographs right now. I have maybe about 3-4 of them. I'm just gonna run through all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4. And you can see them are open and some Q-tips. It's disgusting. There's a used bandage. Okay, so let's move on to the next segment, right? I don't have any food to show you in terms of photography. So the photography session is done. Let's get up. This is region D1 right here. So I'm gonna get up. Move up. Get your ass up. All right. So D1, typically I put the garbage there. So I'm turn around to A7, A8, and you can see absolute fucking mess. So you can see by any standards, I was going through the most difficult part of my. I guess everything came together: domestic violence, caregiving, from regarding some finance, income tax, health and disease, right? Health especially, and my sleep cycle, everything's off. Employment, full-time employment, business, the R&D business in biomolecular nutrition, and then this project, the Ahn Rho Project, comprehensive life management project. All this stuff just coming together, and more domains of life, like relationships, family. Even I have family now. That's my cousin and my brother. They're family to me. And everything just coming together. And you can see that yesterday I just kind of sat here and worked on the Ahn Rho project, and there's a lot of food here that's just binge eating. So I will say that there's some stuff here I need to get ready for work. Inside these Oreos is not really Oreos, it's just a bag, packaging, and that's not really even that. That's like Indian snack food, but it's not Indian snack foods either. So it's not cookies, it's not snack foods. Inside it's actually a bagel, and that's what I'm gonna bring to work for dinner. So yeah, I know that's my dinner. It's a bagel inside these two ghetto package wraps. Yeah, that's it. And then over here, the rest here is garbage. So you can anticipate these Oreo cookies, these donut shit, these disgusting chips, these samosa snack things, and this glucerna bottle, which is about the only thing that's minorly healthy. So all 5 of these packaging, I'm gonna move it over there and toss it. I want to go to work today. I am going to work today. This bottle here, same thing here, emptied out. Glue Usana's pro-glucamune. So recyclables, packaging, shit. And we also have garbage here. So we have this kind of garbage, like I said, adhesive bandage and stuff like that, and Q-tips and stuff like that. So I've been cut up and stuff like that. So I toss it all inside, probably inside the packaging over there, scrunch it all together, and then put packages within packages within packages, and just toss it away into that bag with the workplace, and then go and dump it when I leave. So I just have to clean up this kind of stuff here, which is quite a bit. We're going to move on now. So that's the kind of active segment, the physical items, inventory, garbage, trash, cleaning. Okay, moving on. The 6th segment is, so like I said, abstract stuff. I have about 3 minutes left. When it comes to income tax and finances, I want to get in touch with my accountant yesterday. And so I called him first of all, but I wanted to send with him a bunch of resources associated with the Ahn Rho Project. And so what you're watching right now, of course, involves a lot of, I guess, neuroscience and psychiatry that I've been trying to use to resolve the gambling and the addiction and the domestic abuse and violence for the past 3 decades, and so on and so forth. And right now, my accountant, we're a little bit close, and I know exactly the kind of issues he had to face recently, betrayal and stuff like that, which I'm not going to cover in any too much detail, obviously, because that's kind of private. But I will say that I wanted to send him resources that I was also going to forward to a bunch of different people, such as fellow volunteers of mine at the hospital, people at my workplace, people who are also my family and previous friends. And when I say family, the only family I mean are really my brother and my cousin, because that's the only family I really have in terms of any real connection. And so all that kind of stuff, I'm compiling all these resources for specifically my accountant yesterday. And I spent the entire day, almost like 12 hours straight, getting everything down from Dr. David Sinclair's anti-aging. You can search this up on YouTube, guys, if you're confused, if you're wondering what that is. You can also find Dr. Andrew Schuberman. So he's a neuroscientist and focusing on neuroplasticity. So you can find him there too. And so all sorts of audiobooks on Marcus Aurelius, the summary by Vox Stoica, you can find that once again. It's like an audiobook summary, you can find that as well. So all these I want to forward over to the people that I really care about. And so I spent the majority of my day yesterday, which is why you see this mess here, right? Totally irresponsible of me. I gotta get my shit together. No one else but my own fault. So moving on, all right? And then obviously, if I spent a day like that, I didn't go to work. And so I called in sick for the first time in 3.5 years. I said, I really just can't show up today because this is the single most important pivotal point. This is the test, the prototyping. Can I actually offer something of value with my life to other people in society? We're going to find out. So with that being said, that's pretty much a wraps. And in terms of commentary, so the 7th segment, it doesn't seem like there's any comments. I don't think there's really anybody here who's watching. But with that being said, that's that. So no commentary, no questions. So we're just gonna move on to the last bit, which is the take-home message. So take care of your health, your finances, and yourself. Make sure you become a strong, disciplined, responsible individual. Not to preach, just hope you share this understanding with me that you can only help the people you care for if you have something of value to offer in the first place. So with that being said, take care of yourself. I hope to see a better version of you as well as myself in the next live stream tomorrow morning. This is Ahn Rho signing out. Ciao.